Welcome to my channel for comprehensive tutorials on fundamental principles to complex problems. I'll cover it all. Feel free to share, subscribe for more contents. Thank you. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode in which I'm solving a TGMT practice paper, and all those students those who are attempting to do GCSE or IGCSE, I'll be putting more videos on the same topic for mathematics for IGCSE also. For now, this is the GCSE mathematics, and this is a paper 2 in which calculator is allowed. So for you to have a very clear understanding of what kind of questions you should be expecting, since this is a calculator allowed paper in which the question is saying that 25 minus under root 43.87 is divided by 6 plus 2.1 square. So once you put these values in the calculator, you should get 1.765279, and 23. These are the values you should get in calculator. And why I'm writing all the values that you can see on the display, because it's not mentioned to write your answer in two decimal place or one decimal place. So it's advisable that you put all the values until and unless it is mentioned to write your answer in one decimal place or two. Now, part B is saying that work out the value of reciprocal of 0.625. So, reciprocal of 0.625 is going to be 1 over 0.625. Once you put these values in the calculator, you should get 1.6 as an answer. And moving on now to question number 2. In here, the table shows information about the height of 80 children. Now we need to find out the estimate mean height. So for this, we need to write over here, the middle number is 135. Over here is 145. Next number is going to be 155, between 150 and 160. And over here, you will write 165. Make sure to write on all the workings that you are expected to write. Now for frequency, we need to multiply 135 times 4, and over here 145 multiply by 11, and this is 155 multiplied by 24, and for 165 should be multiplied by 22, and this is 175 multiplied by 19. Now in here you should get all these values using a calculator. So it's not that difficult for you to find out. First value is going to be 540. Next value is going to be 1595 once you use a calculator. And the third value is going to be 3720. Next is 36. And the last one is going to be 3325. Once you add them up all together, you'll get 12,810. And since we need to find out the mean height, that definitely we are going to divide 12810 by 30 by 80, sorry. So you should get 160.125, as you might see in the calculator screen. Now you need to draw a frequency polygon for the information in the table. As you know very well, we have already found out the middle numbers 135, 145 and 155 onwards. So in this frequency polygon also we do the same thing. Over here this is a 135, this is 145 which is in the center, this is 155, and this is 165, and this is 175, and the values that you are getting are 4 for the first one. So 4 is going to be somewhere a little over here that you can see. So this is the first value. For 145 it's going to be somewhere over here, and for 155 you should get somewhere here, and for 165 is going to be a little below than this one, and the last one is going to be somewhere over here. Once you have a ruler with you, you should better make a straight line with the ruler. Mine is not that straight. This is how you should get the answer and full marks for this type of question. Now comes a question for Venn diagrams. As soon as you see Venn diagrams, better to write the members of A. Even numbers are 2, 4, 6, and 8, and then 10 also. And then for factors of 10 are going to be 1, and then 2, and then 5, and then 10 itself. Now, as you can see, that 2 and 10 is common in both of them, so you'll write 2 and 10 over here. And the remaining numbers for B are 1 and 5, and for set A is going to be 4, 6, and 8. The remaining numbers you may write over here 3, 7, and 9. Now, they're asking you find the probability that this number is instead of A intersection B. Intersection B, you can see over here there are two numbers only. So you will write 2 out of 10, or you may write 1 over 5. Both are same to get full marks for this question. Now, when it comes to question number 4, it says Liam drove 56 kilometers from Oxford to Bristol. He then drove 61 kilometers from Bristol to Bath. Liam's average speed from Oxford to Bristol was 70 kilometers per hour. Liam took 75 minutes to drive from Bristol to Bath. Work out the Liam's average speed and for his total drive from Oxford to Bath. Let's see correct to one decimal place. Now, in here, it's always better to have a formula for distance, speed, and time. This triangle is very much familiar with all the students, that whenever we need to find out the distance, we multiply speed and time. And if we make a table from Oxford to Bristol, and then second is going to be Bristol to Bath, and then overall distance we can find out over here. Making a table something like this is going to be helpful for you to find out the values. I'm sorry for my lines are not that straight. Speed, distance, and time formula is going to be used. For the first one is going to be 70, and in here it is 56. So once we are dividing, so we should get 0.8, because when 56 is divided by 70, you should get 0.8. Now for the next one, it's going to be 61. This is why you should get 75 minutes, which is equals to 1.25 hours. Now this is going to be 117, and this is going to be 2.05. Speed distance formula is going to be used. So when 117 is divided by 2.05, you will get overall distance, overall speed, which is going to be 57.1 kilometers per hour. In your case, better write the answer in the appropriate place over here. 57.1 kilometers is already mentioned. Moving on to the next question. It says there are 48 cows in the field X. There are two fields, field X and field Y. For that purpose, I will write field X over here and field Y over here. Now this is 192, has to be divided by 48. And over here it's going to be 4 square meters, while for the second one it's going to be 270, has to be divided by 120. So it should give you 2.25 square meter. And when they need to find out how much less, for that purpose you will be subtracting 4 minus 2.25, so it should give you 1.75 square meter as the answer. Now 40 square centimeter cube centimeter is the same as 400 millimeters cube, because there are 10 meters, so you multiply by 10. So it's wrong, because you should know very well that whenever we are converting cubic centimeters to cubic millimeter, we always and always multiply by 10 cube, or in other words we can say we have to multiply by 1000. Moving on to the next question. It says the diagram shows shape RTUVW. In here, a little calculation has to be done. We know very well that this is a W and V is 8x, and since this is 6x, so this has to be 2x, because 6x plus 2x is going to be 8x. Now 23 minus 14 is going to be giving you a 9. So now you have all the dimensions. Now they are saying the parameter is already given, which is 86. So now we know very well that this 8x and plus 8x is going to be a 16x. And when 23, 14 and 9 is added, this should give you 46. So 46 plus 16x is giving you 86. Now it's pretty simple for you. Just 16x is equals to 86 minus 46 should give you 40, and when 40 is divided by 16 should give you x is equals to 2.5. So the unknown value, which is x, is 2.5. That means when 8 times 2.5 should be giving you a 20. And now this unknown value, 2.5 times 2, that means 2.5 and 2.5, this should give you a 5. So when this one is 20 and this one is 5, this has to be a 15. Now we need to find out the area of this whole shape. So we divide this whole thing into two parts. This part is going to be 15 times 23, and this part is going to be 5 times 24. So 15 times 23 should give you 345, and 24 times 5 should give you a 70. So when these two values are added together, you will find out the area of the whole shape. So once we add 345 plus 70 should give you 415 square centimeter. This is going to be a final answer. Moving on to the next question, which is going to be question number 7. It says Lina's annual salary increased by 6%. Increase, there is something very extremely important I must explain you. As increase, it's always 1.06. And for example, if this was a decrease by 6, that means it's going to be 0.94. So this is very clear. Always and always subtract from 100. Okay. So in this case, it's saying increase. That means we are going to be adding 1 to it. So I will be taking a straight rule that divide this value by 1.06, and straight away you're going to get answer as 40,280. Straight away you'll get the answer. But if you want to go a unitary method, it's going to be 106% is going to be 42696.80. That means 1% of this is going to be equals to 402.80, and then 100% it's going to be 40 to 80. So either method you go, but I prefer you're using this method, which is going to be giving you a correct answer. Now comes next question, which is question number 8. It says Emily invests X pounds in better investment for 3 years. Zen invests X pounds in county bank for 3 years. So which is going to be better? So straight away we do the simple calculations and see that the 2% per annum. That means this is going to be 1.02, and this is going to be 1.035. 035. Always and always add whenever there's a increase. So this is going to be 102.5, and this is going to be 1.035. 0.025. Now, when it comes to Emily, the calculation is going to be pretty simple. X will be multiplied by 1.025, 3 years, which is going to give us 344,605. This is Emily's. When it comes to, so the X value is going to be 320 and three zeros like this. When it comes to finding out the Zen investment at the end of 3 years, this is going to be 3200, triple zero, and this is going to be multiplied by 1.02 power of 2 and then multiply by 1.035. So this is going to give us accurate answer of 344,580.48. So this is going to be the answer for our question. Now when it comes to, it says in an experiment 60 students each completed a puzzle. The cumulative frequency graph shows information about the time taken for 60 students to complete the puzzle. So in here we can say that we have a clear diagram of cumulative frequency. In here the upper quartile is going to be 45 somewhere here, and the lower quartile is going to be between 10 and 20, so which is 15. We can write here lower quartile, and this is the upper quartile. Now mean is going to be 30. Now from here if we plot the straight line something like this, and straight again from 45, if we take straight something like this, I try to make it straight. Once you are using it with a ruler, definitely you're going to make it better than mine. And next will come from 15. 15 will take you towards here. Now from here you take a ruler and make straight lines towards somewhere here. This should be made by straight line using a ruler. So this is the point where you should be coming, and this line is going to be, my line is kind of snaky, so your line should be better than mine. These three are the points where you should be making them. Now when it comes to finding out, so this one you know very well, this is 42, and this one is 54, and the next one, this is a 64, because each line is for 2, so this is a 64. Now these three are taken, all the values are with you, so you can go ahead and see on a grid below, draw a plot for distribution of time taken by the students. So in here what you can do is, as you can see in this table, you have a 30 over here, which is the mean, and this is going to be a 50, starting from this one is going to be, and then it is going to be over here for 30, over here, and then comes the next value is 54. 54 is going to be after two boxes somewhere here, and the third one is a 64. So 64 is going to be after two boxes somewhere like this. So you join them together, and this is going from here to D6. This is going to be the one. When you join these two, better use a ruler. My drawing is not that good on the screen. So this is going to be your final answer. You'll get 3 marks for this. So in question number 10, it says here's the frustum of a cone. What does frustum means? Frustum is a partial part or a part of a big cone that is divided into two different parts. Anyways, so here we have a volume of a sphere 4 over 3 pi r cube, but in the question it says that it's joined with the hemisphere. As you can see over here, this is called as a hemisphere. So hemisphere is the half of a sphere. So first of all, we find out the volume of a hemisphere. Hemisphere. So the formula is 4 over 3 times pi r cube. Now it has to be divided into two different parts. That means 1 over 2. Half of the sphere is called as hemisphere. So once this is going to be calculated, it's going to be 2 over 3 times pi r, which is 7.2. Half of 7.2 is going to be 3.6 cube. Once you put this values in the formula in the calculator, you should get 97.7160979. So half of the question is solved. So this is the volume of the frustum down, the hemisphere down part. Now when it comes to cone, if you see the formula of a cone, 1 over 3 pi r square and the height. Now in here we have two different cones. One is a big cone and one is called as smaller cone. Now for the smaller cone, it's going to be 1 over 3 times pi times 3.6, because 3.6, where did I get 3.6? If you see over here, this is 3.2, and you see the upper part, this is also 3.2 and this is also 3.2, but when we are finding out for the whole thing, it's going to be 6.4. So let's put these values in the calculation. So it's going to be 3.6 square times 6.4, because this is a big cone we are talking about. But when we are talking about the smaller cone, it's going to be 1 over 3 times pi times 1.8. Because where did I get this 1.8? Because if you see this, this whole thing is half of 7.2, which is 3.6, which is the diameter. And when we are finding out the radius of this one, it's going to be 1.8. That's why for the smaller cone, the radius is going to be 1.8 times 3.2. We are talking about a smaller cone. For this, you should get 86.8587 and 5369. And for the smaller cone, you should get 10.85734421. So when we're talking about the frustum, once we subtract this, you should get 76.00140948 in your calculator. This is we are talking about the frustum. Now the total volume is going to be total volume of shape S is going to be 173.7175074 cubic centimeter, because in here we need to add this value and 97. So when these two are added together, you should get this value as an answer. Now, making the subject of the formula, in here we need to take m minus 1 on the other side. So m minus 1 is going to be multiplied by f, and this is 3m plus 4, and we need to make m the subject. That means fm minus f equals 3m plus 4. I am going to take this fm minus 3m and 4 plus f. This will go to this side and becomes plus f, and this plus 3m will go to this side and becomes minus 3m. So in here m is common, and f minus 3 will be equals to 4 plus f, and once I keep m on this side, it's going to be 4 plus f over f minus 3. This is going to be your answer. Now comes the next question. Now in here, here are the first six terms of the quadratic sequence. So always remember, for quadratic sequence, the formula is something like, I must tell you, it is an square of the first value, then comes b without a power, and then this is power of 0. Anyways, this is something that you must always remember. So for the first one, what we are going to take, we will not take all the values, we just take first 4 or 5 values. That's enough for us to understand the difference between the rows. So this is going to be 4, and here also it is 10, and this is 16. So common difference between these ones is going to be 6 and 6. Now you should know very well that this is the second level, and in here this is going to be equals to uh, this is going to be 2a. First value is going to be 2a, and since this is a second row, it's going to be 3a plus b. Okay, because it's the third level, that's why it's going to be 3a and then plus b, and the last one is going to be a plus b plus c, a plus b plus c. Now since we know very well that 2a, first one is giving us a 6, that means the value of a is going to be a 3. Now we know the value of a is 3. Now we can find out 3a plus b. 3a plus b is equals to 4. We know the value of 3, which is 3 times 3, plus b equals 4. So this is 9 plus b equals 4. So the value of b is going to be 4 minus 9, which is equals to negative 5. B value is going to be equals to negative 5. Now we know very well that a plus b plus c is equals to 6. The value of a is 3, and the value of b is a negative 5, and the value of c we need to find out. So this is going to be 3 minus 5 plus 6 plus c equals 6. So this is equals to negative 2 plus c equals 6. That means c value is going to be 6 plus 2, which is c equals 8. Now we have the value of a, b, and c all together. So what we can do is, first value a is a 3, that means 3 and square. As you can see, the value of a is a 3, so we'll write like this. And the value of b is going to be negative 5. So I should remove this plus sign from here, and 3n square, and then comes minus 5n, and the value of c is 8. So instead of C, we are going to write 8 here. So this is going to be your final answer. This is the quadratic equation that gives you all these numbers. When it comes to question number 13, it says b equals x minus y over z, and the value of x is 12.76, correct to three significant figures. The value of y is 4.89, correct to three significant figures. And the value of z is 2.4, correct to two significant figures. Work out the lower bound for b. Now, in here, what we should do is we should write it the lower bound of 12.76. So this is going to be 12.755, as you know. And then the range is going to be between, for the first value is 12.765. So zero point 0.5 is added and subtracted to both sides. And then for y, it's going to be 4.885, and within the range of 4.895, as you can see. And for the z value, it's going to be between 2.35 and 2.45. As you can see, all the lower bounds and the upper bounds are set. And in here, now the question says we need to find out the value of x minus y and divided by the value of z. So we should know very well that we should take this value over here for the first one, and for the y we will take the higher bound, and for the z we will take this value. Now in here, what we do, a simple calculation of 12.755 minus 4.895 should be divided by 2.45. So the calculator should give you 3.20816 and 3265. You should see this in your calculator, and this is going to be your final answer for this question. Now, in this type of question where iteration is given, so for this you must first of all find the value of k, which is a constant. It says that tank is being emptied. The volume of water in the tank n minutes after the emptying begins is Vn liters. The volume of water in the tank is n plus 1 minute after the emptying begins, Vn plus 1, or and so on. If it is a second minute, it's going to be n plus 2, n plus 3, n plus 4 liters. Is given by, formula is already given. First of all, we need to find out the value of k. So it says 1040, and the value is k times 1200 liters plus 20, which is a constant value. Now in here we need to find out the value of k. So we subtract 1200 from here. So it's going to be giving us 1020. 20 is going to be subtracted from here, and it's going to be 1200k. And when 1020 is divided by 1200, should give you 0.85. The value of k is going to be 0.85. Now this is pretty clear. The value of k is 0.85, and at 916 it is 1040 liters. So now putting the value n plus 1, which is already given, 0.85, and the value of volume in liters plus 20. So this is the formula. And at 917 it's going to be different. So it is going to be 0.85 times 1040 plus 20. This gives you 904. Now for 918, at 918, this is the time we are talking about. This value is going to be replaced for the next time. 0.85 times 904. Now this will replace over here. plus 20. So the final answer is going to be 788.4. This is going to be the volume of the water. Now, for the next question, it says here's the graph of y equals, that's a sine graph. And the first thing that you should notice in this equation, it's negative 0.8. Sine graph are pretty easy to understand. Now, for example, if it is a negative 1, so this is a negative 0.2, negative 0.4, negative 0.6, and negative 0.8 is somewhere here. Negative 0.8. So from here, using a ruler, you must make a straight line, something like this. Once you straighten this line, you will come to a position where you can see this. You must make a straight line using a ruler. Now, this was the first part. Second part is every box of 5, which is 30. Always remember this. This is 30, this is 60, this is 90, and this is 120. And always a box of 5 is adding 20 to it, 30 to it. That means this is going to be 150. So keep on adding like this. And now we need to know how much is the value at over here. So first we need to find out 234. This is the place where it is getting connected to. As you can see, this is the first point. Sorry, my straight lines are not that straight. Once you use a ruler, you will know the exact value. So for this one is going to be 200. Once you keep on adding 30 to each, you will come to know that this is 210, and this is 270. So this is 240. This is 240, and so on. So this is going to be 300. Now, once you notice this point where it is touching this one and this one, these two are the values which are showing you that this is 234 and the next value is going to be 306. So these two are the first two values, but we need to find out four solutions. Now in here, we have found out that the first one is 234 and second value is 306. Now once you keep on adding 234 plus 360, because this line is ultimately going to go up and down again two different times, and 306 plus 360. So these two are the next two values where this is going to meet 594 and 666. So next two are 594 and 666. These are the 4 points where this line is going to be touching at negative 0.8. Now moving on to the next part of the question. In here you can see the graph of y equals fx is already given here. On the grid, draw the graph of y equals fx minus 1 and plus 2. That means each point is going to go 1 to the right and 2 up. That means this point is going to go 1 point over here from 2 to 3 and 2 points up. So this is going to be the first point. Now look at this one. 1 point towards here and 2 points up. So that means this is going to be over here. This point is 1 here and 2 up is going to be here, and this point is going to be 1 here and 2 on top. So it's going to be something like this. So once you join these lines using a ruler, straight line should be drawn. So this is going to be the transformation of the line. As you can see in question number 16, it says on the grid show by shading the regions that satisfy all of these inequalities. Before we start the question, you must know very well that greater than and less than always be a dashed line, and less than or equal to and greater than or equal to is going to be always a solid line. So all of them are less than, and less than. So we'll be using dashed lines. Changing this to y equals mx plus c, I will be making this 1 over 2x minus 2, and this is going to be x equals 3, and this is going to be y equals negative 3x plus 6. So first line is going to be x equals 3. First of all, I'm plotting this one, and as you can see, this line is going to be going this way. Remember that this is going to be a dashed line or dotted line, you can say. It's going to be going here. Now second line is going to be starting from negative 2. As you can see, this one I'm plotting starting from negative 2, and it's going to go 1 up and 2 to your right. So 1 up and 2 to your right over here. First, second point is going to be here, and fourth point is going to be here. Now joining these points is going to be something like this. These are the two lines, and the last line is going to be starting from plus 6. So this is the point where you should be starting, and this is going to go 3 down, 1, 2, and 3, and 1 over here. So this is going to be the second point, and 3 down and 1 over here. So this is going to be at positive 2, and from here it's going to go 3 down, 1, 2, and 3, 1 here. So this is going to be next point, 1, 2, 3, and 1 over here. So these are the points that are to be joined together, and once we join all these points, make sure to use a ruler to join these points. Now as you can see in here, it's going to be something like a triangle that you can see over here, this area. This area we are working with. So now in here, question number 17, it says PQR and QRS are triangles, and we need to find out the value of QS. First of all, we need to find out how much is RQ. Take this one as Y, and using a cosine rule, I will be using y square equals 9.4 square plus 11 square, and minus 2 times 9.4 and 11, and cosine of y, which is going to be 27. Once we calculate all these values, this is going to give us the values. Y square equals, once we put this all the values in the calculator, we are going to get y square equals 25.09 and 98508, and then y is going to be equals to 5.00, something that you will see in the calculator. So y is equals to 5. Now we will be using sine rule, and if I take this one, this angle as a, so this is going to be small a, and if I take this as b, this is going to be a small b, will be equals to 5. Now I can use sine rule very easily. A equals sine a, and which is equals to b over sine b. Putting the values, this is unknown value, and this is sine of 88, and this is 5.01 I take, and since this is 5.01, I consider this one, and this is going to be equals to sine of 41. So once we calculate all these values putting in the calculator, so it's going to be x is equals to 5.01 multiplied by sine of 88 cross multiplication divided by sine of 41. So this should give you x is equals to 7.63. This is in question number 18. It says in a wildlife center there are 32 adult birds and 32 chicks. 19 of adult birds are female, 12 of chicks are female. One adult bird and one chicks are chosen to make a pair. One adult bird, one adult bird and one chick are chosen to make a pair. Liam thinks that there will be two males in more than 30% of the possible pairs. Now, first of all, we need to find out how many altogether are they. So 32 times 32 is going to give us 1024 total pairs. Now, when it comes to finding out the males, so we need to know very well that 32 out minus 12 is going to give us the value, which is going to make around 20 males. And 32 minus 19, because they are not adult, so that is going to give us 13 from here. So this is how we can pair them up. And we know very well that 19 times 2, 19 times 12 rather, is going to give us a 228 female pairs. And 20 times 13, which is 260 male pairs. Now, when it comes to find out Liam's answer, it's saying 30% of 1024. Once you do the calculations of 1024 times 0.3, it should give you 307. So 307.2, which is Liam thinks. So in fact, it is 260. So your answer should be like no, Liam is wrong, absolutely wrong, in fact. So this was the answer for this question. Now, when it comes to question number 19, here we use completing square formula, and you know very well x square minus 6x minus 1. If I ignore this minus 1, I can see that this is the formula of 3x 6x minus 9. Okay, so this is something you must know when it comes to formulas. For example, if it is x plus 3 or minus 3 or whatever it is, for example x minus 3, you know very well that it's going to be x square minus 6x and plus 9. So you must always remember that this value is always double. So if I'm going opposite, I will make it half. So that means I can very easily write x minus 3 whole square is going to give us this. Now, when it comes to minus 1, we know very well it is a plus 9 also over here. So, when it comes to plus 9, we have a negative 9. So, we are going to make it a negative 9. So, negative 9 and negative 1 is going to give us a negative 10. So, negative 9 and negative 1 is going to give us a 10. That means x minus 3 whole square negative 10. Now we need to find out the value of a. The value of a is equals to 3, and the value of b is going to be 10. This is going to be the answer for this question, and this can be solved using completing square. Now, in this question number 20, it says A, B, C, and D are the points on circumference of a circle, like A, B, C, and D. All these are the points on the circumference of the circle. O is the center, You should know very well that this and this one both are the radius, so they are equal. Now we need to find out ADE and BCE are straight line. Correct. Now work out the size of CDE. CD and E. This angle they need to find out. This is unknown angle. We need to find out this, and we should know the reasons also. Now, since A, B, C, and D is a cyclic quadrilateral, so in here this is going to be 66, half of 32. That means you may write the reasons that according to the rules of cyclic quadrilateral, you may write the angles made at the circumference are half of the angle at the center made in the same same side of the angle. Now this is 132, so this has to be 66. Now you should know very well that angle A plus angle C is equals to 180. So 180 minus 66 should give you 140, 114. So this angle is 114. Now once this angle is 114, we know very well that this angle we can find out easily. From 180, angles on a straight line is always 180. So 180 minus 114 should give you 66. So this angle is 66, and three angles of a triangle is equals to 180. That means 16 plus 66. This should give you 82. Now we should know very well that once we are finding out the angle, it's going to be subtracting from 180. If we subtract from 180, we should get 98. So this angle is 98. Pretty simple. So this is your answer. Moving on to the next one. This question is a bit tricky, but once we follow the exponent rules, we know very well we can find out this. So first step is to make all the bases equals to 2. So 32 is 2 power 5, and instead of 8 I will write 2 cube, and there is a little x on top. So we are going to solve this little later, and instead of 4 I will write 2 square and x minus 1. Now the next step of what we are going to take is that 2x power x is going to be equals to 2 to the power 5. But before we go ahead, we should know how much is this equals to. We know very well that this is equals to 1 over 2. So I can easily write 2 cube 1 over 2 and multiply by x. Okay. Now to further simplify, I can write 2 cube and x over 2. Now once this is multiplied, this 3 is multiplied by x over 2, this should give you 3x over 2. So this is the answer for this whole thing. Now I can write 2 and 2 3 3x I should write here. Now I will write 3x over 2, and down below what we have is 2, and this 2 is going to be multiplied by x minus 1. So in the next step I can further simplify. 2 to the power x is equals to 2 to the power 5, and this is going to be equals to 2 3x over 2 divided by 2x minus 2. Now all the values are in the same base, so I can straight away, we know very well we can write in addition and subtraction. So I will write x is equals to 5 plus 3x over 2 minus 2x minus 2. Since all the bases are same, so I have ignored that. Now in here, what we can do is x is equals to 7 plus 3x over 2 minus 2x. Now what we can do is, once we subtract these two, x is equals to 7 minus x over 2. Okay, so now what we can do is, this is going to go to the other side, and plus x over 2 equals 7. Now once we calculate all these are going to be multiplied by 2. I should change the pen. Now if I multiply everything by 2, by 2 and by 2, so this is going to give us 2x, and these two are going to be cancelled. X equals 14. Now what we have is 3x equals 14, so x will be equals to 14 over 3, which is our final answer. Number 22, it says find algebraically the set of values for x for which x square minus 49 equals 0 and 5x square minus 31x minus 72 is also equal greater than 0. Now we know very well x square minus 49 should be giving you x plus 7 and x minus 7. These are the two values to give you x square minus 49. Now for the next one, what I can do is I do direct factorization. 5x and plus 9, and in here x minus 8 can be taken, because 5 times 8 is a negative 40. Negative 40 plus 9 is going to give us a minus 31. So these are the two factors of this expression. Now we know very well that 5x plus 9 equals 0 and x is equals to positive 8. That means 5x equals negative 9 over 5, negative 9 instead. Now for x will be equals to negative 9 over 5. These are the 4 points that we have. Now test this using the values that we have. First I am going to use negative 7 for this equation. 5x square minus 31x minus 72. Now since I'm using negative, so 5 negative 7 square negative square, and then comes negative 31 multiplied by negative 7, negative 72. So we are going to get 49 for this positive, and this is going to be a positive 7 and 21 and minus 72. So this value will be always greater than 0. We know very well, because 5 times 49 should give you 49 times 5 should give you 245 plus 217 plus 217 is going to be minus 72. So this should give you 462 minus 72 is going to give you a 390, which is greater than 0. So negative 7 is the first value. Now from here I see 8. If I put this 8 over here, so 5 is going to be 8 square minus 31 8 and negative 72. We should know that this value should be greater than 0. So 5 times 8 is a 64, minus 31 times 8 is going to be 8 and 24 here, negative 72. So by looking at the numbers, I know very well that this value will be always equals to greater than 0. So negative 7 and positive 8 are the two values that suits the given expression. Now moving on to the last question. In here, in question number 23, it says prove algebraically that the straight line with the equation x minus 2y equals 10 is a tangent to the circle with the equation x squared plus y squared equals 20. Now, as soon as I see the first equation, I am going to convert this x equals to how much? 2y plus 10. So this is the value of x. Now I'm going to substitute this into the circle equation. So this is going to give us 2y plus 10 whole square, as I'm considering this as x, and plus y square equals 20. Now once I expand this bracket, this is going to give us a 4y square, and 2y times 10 is a 20y, and double that is going to give us a 40y plus 100 square plus y square equals 20. Now 4y and 1y is going to give us a 5y square, and plus 40y plus 100 equals 20. So in the next step, you can write plus 40y plus 100 minus 20, and okay, so this is going to give us 5y square plus 40y plus 80 equals 0. Now dividing the whole thing by 5, I am going to get y square plus 8y plus 16 equals 0. Now after this, I can factorize this very easily. It's going to be x plus 4 and x plus 4. That means x is y. In here, I should write y instead of x. So y and y here. So y is equals to negative 4 and y equals negative 4. That means there is one point only. So x, when x is equals to 2, y is going to be equals to negative 4. So these are the two. This is the one coordinate where this is going to be touching the circle. That means it is a tangent. That's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Wish you all the best, and I'll be uploading the next video very soon. Thank you very much once again.